ala chansoni sana. What I saw, run away, umfwai. If ya chitike pali apako naiwe, meka lungaizi na madamu wakwe, tumbo mgaizi kwa titaba polionse, taposa kwa mano kuli madamu wakwe, kanchi madamu nangwe chila munyonga, alapanga polani ngatalipo, kagaife kamosu kalikatilapo, nali ufoku
vinde kweva mwandi nativo, ikata ule mupela yonse baby, ikata ule musunga wino hani, ikata ule mulava wino I swear my friend iwe wakakwafa taule mupela yonse baby taule musunga wino hani taule mulava wino I swear my friend iwe wakakwafa
awe baba no luse baba no bafilisho ati uluselwa lilenkwale apa pena kalube shuwa we just imagine kagai kambi busy na madamu hobe. It's so embarrassing and so surprising.
You see the problems for me, we take us for granted. No kubomfisha kwati they not so wanted. No wonder nabina limobe sabazanda. Ifinde kweva mwandi nativo. Ikata ule mupela yonse baby. Ikata ule musunga wino hani. Ikata ule mulava wino I swear my friend iwe wakakwafa. Ikata ule mupela yonse baby. Ikata ule musunga wino hani. Taule mulava wino I swear my friend iwe wakakwafa taule mupela yonse baby winga taule musunga wino hani taule mulava wino I swear my friend iwe wakakwafa.
It's so funny how this world has changed. Awe mwandi ine na tina so limbina ine baninga fwapo shaishi bafye. Yeah, okay from today hey my baby go lengo fwa kutikisha shaga kutanepo ichiri chonse fyonzo fire nkala kupa all the attention and your fire baby it's yours anytime anyway I am yours you're my head baby to my toes pandetina inendetina vyakungafano
kata ule mupela yonse baby kata ule musunga wino hani kata ule mulava wino I swear my friend iwe wakakwafa kata ule mupela yonse baby kata ule musunga wino hani kata ule mulava wino I swear my friend iwe wakakwafa kata ule mupela yonse baby kata ule musunga wino hani kata ule mulava wino I swear my friend iwe wakakwafa kata ule mupela yonse baby kata ule musunga wino hani kata ule mulava wino I swear my friend iwe wakakwafa.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Ubuntu channel. My name is Himba Malambo. We are back again with your favorite program, NSAKA. Today we are going to talk about one of the exciting and interesting topics, and I encourage all the viewers out there, please join us. We are not here because we are intelligent, no, and we are not here that we know everything. We are here to learn from one another. And I'm sure even out there, our viewers, you know something has happened in your community, in your family, and there are things we can educate one another. So we are back, as usual, on Thursday with the NSAKA program where to sambilishanya, sharing ama topics, ama issues that which affect in our daily lives. So I encourage everyone out there to come in and join us. Share your experience, share what you know, share the information you have so that we can save our community, and we can make Zambia a better place to live in. I'm not alone as usual. I've got a very, very, very interesting team as usual, your favorite team. I've just been joined by Bamukelebai. Bamukelebai, welcome to the program.
Tolumba kapati wama muli bya buti.
Gabotu, mbuti bumi bulapya, muli buti nywebo.
So tuli byo gabotu. Wina mapenzi pepe.
Tolumba ihamdala umibona. Ko otomitambula ku Ubuntu program, Pansaka program. You're welcome.
Tolumba, thank you so much, and thank you so much, viewers. Looking forward to the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are yet to be joined by CJ this evening. Wamukelebai.
Sha.
Tika libo ngena topic of discussion this evening. Mwaimvela ko 655 lero.
655. Can you give me the
sentence? Timo iwa sentence 600.
Oh yeah, the sentence. Anyway, to me, I feel like well, it is something that has happened for the first time, but in Zambia, I just hope that those boys will have good lawyers, had good lawyers. The punishment was just too harsh, in my opinion.
That is not open for discussion. Those actually, that is nothing. They should have given them 1,000. Never 1,000.
But those boys learned a lesson. They were just
what lesson did they learn? Do you know how they done it?
They were just young boys. I promise you. I think.
Tapali. Let's get back to the program. We'll talk about that. On the other side, those boys actually 655, it's nothing. So it means even in the next life, so basically that's the situation. CJ, welcome to the program. CJ, you are muted. I think he's still getting ready to join us. Okay, viewers, our topic of discussion this evening is one of those which is interesting, and it reads, as I quote, the causes of spouse abuse and how you can deal with it. Vevimalenga maspausi over bwenzi to abuse munzao and how we can deal with it. I'm sure this is something that happens in our communities. Wamukelebai.
Wow, it's a very good subject, even though it has there are many causes. People are different. People get engaged in different forms. And the causes of the abuses, there are so many. And the little that we know, we may air them now. But I know that out there, many people have their own reasons and ways of how either their spouses became abusive, something like that. So I really do understand, and that there are so many ways, but with what I know so far is that it all starts from homes. No,
before we get there, I would want us first to make it simple. Before that, Rafika, yes, it starts from home, but what is abuse? In your understanding, what is abuse?
Is abuse to, in my own understanding, is treating someone differently, making them feel belittled and uncomfortable, or rather introducing pain to their feelings, or physically, where they feel they have no way out, they can't speak. Sometimes also abuse can come in form of silent treatment, that someone does not even want to talk to you. It's mental, and abuse comes in so many forms and so many ways. So from the little knowledge I know, is that abuse is managing someone or being treated differently that makes an individual feel uncomfortable and painful, that you feel it should not be done that way. There's a normal way or reasonable way of treating someone with respect, but in short, you are on the receiving end and you get your feelings hurt. To me, that can also, and if that is taking place in perpetuity, it's been going on for some time, it becomes a habit, and then you just sit there, accept that it's normal, and becomes that. To me, that's how I can define it, because I didn't even prepare, I didn't even read through, but that's how I understand.
Thank you so much, Mom Kelebai. Viewers out there, you are welcome to join us. Iyi ndiashlia pansaka na papa tata mfiena bana teri ashlia bana ni pansaka popo trilanda amari ashi ashita affect. As you can see, we've been joined by CJ in our studio. CJ, welcome to the program. Yeah, I can't, CJ, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. CJ, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Take out your headphones. Remove the headphones. If you're using a cell phone, remove this. There you are.
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Good evening, Himba. Good evening, Wom Kilwai, and good evening, viewers. Apologies for joining in late. Technological issues here and there, but it's great to be on the program.
Thank you so much, CJ. Before we go any further, may I inform our viewers that we are sorry we are unable to be with the evangelist this evening. He's attending to a family funeral. He's got a funeral. As we are on Ubuntu and on behalf of Ubuntu channel, I would also want to pass my condolences to the Shaabula family. I'm sure he's going to be with us, and he was really, really, really dying to be with us this week. But I mean, God's plans are not our plans. There are things we can't foresee, which only God can see. So we are with the Shaabula family. CJ, over to you. CJ, over to you. Okay, it seems like we've lost CJ again. However, Womkelebai, Tulela Ndapaya Shia spouse abuse. Spouse abuse, muku shimpa fe panono ngana shimpa kofe panono nshimpe. It's not much difference with what Womkelebai has said, but again, in my own understanding, this is my own understanding, as we have said. Viewers out there, please join us. You share with us the way you understand this topic. It's not that we know more or we are intelligent or we know everything. That's not the thing. But it's because nipansa kapa tule sambilishanya. What we know, what you know, we put it together. At the end of the day, we are going to achieve something. As we are waiting for CJ, CJ, you are here. Over to you. You are muted, CJ.
Thank you, Himba. I hope I'm audible this time around.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, great. So, viewers, we are looking at causes of spouse abuse and how to deal with it. And Himba had asked a definition for abuse. So let me just go through a number of definitions that are here that relate to abuse, and then we're going to pick it up from there. Okay, so the first definition for abuse says improper treatment or usage, application to a wrong or bad purpose, an unjust, corrupt, or wrongful practice or custom. Okay. The second one says misuse, improper use, perversion. The third one, it says a delusion, an imposture, misrepresentation, deception. The fourth one says coerce, insulting speech, abusive language that unjustly or angrily vilifies. Okay. The fifth one, it says, this is a rare one, it says categorize. Okay. Hivi vizungu vika vina
Vizungu ni vikulu hivyo ka? Sije uzazirukanulia.
Basta no ikapa inya from late 16th century. Okay, so the sixth one says physical maltreatment, injury, cruel treatment. And then the seventh one, it says violation, defilement, rape, forcing of undesired sexual activity by one person on another, often on a repeated basis. So these are the seven definitions that we have that pertain to abuse. So pachinyanja sinzwa kuti tingamasirire bwanji kuti abuse ni chani. But from these definitions, you see, it's a way of munjira mine simfunika kumutreatingira muntu, whether kumukambisa, kumugwira, kumumenya, but munjira mine si funikira, yamine si yenekera. Himba.
Yes.
Give a Bemba interpretation of that one.
Okay, thank you so much, Sije. Muku nala spawila kufe panono, nala shimpa fie. Viewers out there, bear in your mind that I'm not an expert in Bemba. So I mean, maybe I can say something closer to that. But basically, according to the definitions here, because we are basically looking at the spouse abuse, the way the spouse abuse. So tulelanda pali umutemwikwa angatrita umunangwe, you know. These are issues, unfairly treatment ifichitika nga abantu bali muchitemwiko, kuti mwaba mchupo, kuti mwaba mu relationship, kuti kwaba in courtship, but we are basically looking more, we are going to concentrate on courtship and the marriage setup. Chibemba marriage setup.
Yeah, okay. So let me also try in Tonga, though I'm not that proficient, but ndira sora ndiza kuvundiri hamwe hoko na muga into ako na mulumu wako munzira iterede Himba, is that close?
I think yeah, you're close, but I think how do they say it in Tonga? I'll remember, there's a word. Okay, when I remember it, I'll share it.
Give us the Lozi version.
How abuse kunyandisa wahenu, kunyandisa mfumahali wahenu fahanduka pamuna amina in kumupirisa mayongo kusamfali kute safanali kute kulwana kunata musala hao kapa kunata munami na fandu, that is amount to abuse. Kona taberu batakubulera fa zetiseza what causes zetiseza kuli batu balwanange kapa basafinangi ili kutemwa mamanyalo ili kama in short, that's what I can say.
I've remembered the word CJ Mujitonga.
Uh,
Gutundulula.
oh, what to do, right?
Gutundulula, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, viewers, we are looking at spouse abuse, the causes of spouse abuse, and how to deal with it. So, right now, let's just dive straight into this topic. Remember, this is an open discussion. We need to learn from one another. So, feel free to share your experiences or what you observed, and then let's get this conversation going so that we can build one another. These are things that are going on in different households, and some people are just dying inside there. They don't know how to deal with these things, and so when you share your experience, when we discuss this thing, we'll be able to help one person know how to get out of that situation or deal with that particular situation. So to get the ball rolling, I'll start with Himba. What do you think are some of the causes make spouses to become abusive, to start abusing the friend or the partner?
Thank you so much, CJ. Before I respond to that question, allow me to mention the type of abuse which we have or which I know. There's one, we have emotional abuse. Emotional abuse, it's where you are tormenting your friend emotionally. Some people, they call it psychological abuse. It's where you are calling your partner names, where you don't have time for your partner, where you are yumfana okuyumfatika picture no sound. Meanwhile, that is a psychological abuse on your friend. You are tormenting your friend psychologically because they don't know what is going through your mind. You don't have time for them. You don't talk to them. You basically don't have, mental torture. That is an abuse to a partner. Then we also have physical abuse, which is common. Kumenya mzano. Mukazi akakambako ni mbama, mwamuna akayankeko ni mbama, and infringing pain on your partner's body. Then the third one, we have psychological, we have emotionally, we have even social abuse. If we talk about the
Okay, we seem to be having a hiccup there. Himba is describing or talking about the kinds of abuses that are there. She mentioned of psychological, emotional, social, and financial. I don't know if you can add to that list as well.
Yes, thank you so much. There are a lot of there are many forms of abuses in these relationships or marriages. Yes, like Himba put it, that is emotional. Emotional is one of the most. It's actually a silent killer. The way you do things just by not by just signs. You sometimes just quietness could also be considered part of abuse. So there are so many ways, and also there's physical abuse where someone become physically abusive and verbal abuse where you use words and profanities to your partner, and also where you beat up your partner physically, where you can push them around, belittle them, call them names. And the other thing is also you can abuse your partner also using the media, social media, by spreading lies, rumors to the world and to relatives and friends, especially friends. We go to friends where we tell friends about the weaknesses of our significant others, those we claim that they are our close friends, even family members. So to me, I feel that also can fall into a form of abuse. So just to add on to what Himba put it. So I think there are so many ways, there's so many forms, many ways of abuse.
Yeah, great. So there's anyway, there are many, like you said. Himba mentioned emotional abuse. There's physical abuse, sexual abuse. Is it mental abuse? There's economic abuse or financial abuse.
There are actually, CJ, these in umbrella. If I can come in, maybe I finish where I ended. If it's
Yes,
okay.
please.
Yeah, so I talked about physical, I talked about psychological, which is emotional abuse. These are some of the four major which are more common in a relationship. Before I go any further, allow me to apologize for the but however, I'll continue. There's also sexual abuse, which you've mentioned, CJ, where a partner will feel like they can have sex to their partner anytime they want, whether the partner is sick, whether the partner doesn't want it, or they feel this woman is a sex machine or is a sex object. They just want to, or this man, oh, you want you, I need it. Yes, it's your conjugal right, but if it is overdone, that becomes an abuse. There's also neglect abuse, where you don't take care of your spouse. Neglect, now on neglect, I tend to sit back and think it also depends with culture. There are certain things that in other cultures they're not allowed and they're not considered neglect. That's the way it is. But in other cultures they are allowed. So with neglect, for me, it's a little bit I would put it's a little bit dice, because like there are certain things that we may consider to be neglect, but in our culture it's not neglect. There are certain things which the modern marriage would say this is you are neglecting, but when you neglect your partner, you neglect your partner physically, emotionally, or you neglect your partner with your responsibilities in that relationship, especially marriage, then you are abusing the other partner. In our culture, if a man is not providing for the partner, because basically it's for us in our culture, mwamuna afunika kunipeleka kusisi, kunivalika, kunidiesa, that. So if the man is not providing that, it becomes neglect, and that becomes abuse on my part. And even me, I need to cook for my husband, I need to watch for my husband, I need to be there for my husband. If I don't do those things traditionally, I'm neglecting my husband. It becomes abuse. So it depends the part of the world you come from, or the society, your traditions, your value. But these are the major types of abuse which are found in a relationship: physical, emotional, sexual, and neglect abuse. CJ, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much. We might need to tackle each one, I think, separately as we go on, so that even when we're looking at how to deal with it, at least tizwa musha kuti yamina ncha ya mzanga ni physical abuse yamina ncha ya. All right, so let's try to look at what the causes. What would lead one to be an abuser, or one to start abusing the friend? And okay, I'll allow you to just pick on any form of abuse, what you might feel the cause might be, then we'll pick it up from there. I'll start with Wamkelevai. What do you think are some of the causes of abuse?
Thank you so much. Tambili, like I wanted to say earlier, they say charity begins at home. When parents, I'm now going to pick on the aspect of mental abuse. Children are the perfect, they know how to suck the energy and copy every movement on everything that takes place, that goes on in a dwelling, their home dwelling. And they start copying when parents are fighting or abusive to one another, and children in front of their children, they're able to see what is going on. Children, they copy. They pay so much attention to see how their mother is treating their father and how their father is treating their mother, and then how they resolve their problems. Sometimes you find parents, they start shouting one another, insulting one another in full view of the children. And the children, they copy. What we forget is that they grow and they recorded that and it's in them. To them, they perceive that as a normal way of treating their partner. When they become of age, they decide to marry or to be married. The things that they used to see in their family, in their parents' home setup, will be the same thing that will carry on. They will continue doing the same thing because to them, in their mental state, it is normal because that is how it ought to be done, or it used to be done. That is how they grew up seeing it being done. So to them, especially when it comes to beating your spouse, when most of these men that love beating, they usually, you find that they are either were exposed to a family, a home setup that was abusive to them, even though their parents were not abusing them. But when two elephants fight, they say it's the grass that suffers. So it's the children that copies, and those children one day become old couples, and they start treating their significant others the same way because it was normal to them. And that is what I can say for now. When I picked on the issue of
the causes,
what causes the causes of
spouse
mental abuse, spouse abuse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Himba, what do you think are some of the causes of spouse abuse? Kelvary has mentioned that for some people, it's the upbringing, being brought up in a broken home, somehow subconsciously that has gotten into them, and you find they start to practice it in their marriage and their relationships. What do you think are some of the causes in your case?
Thank you so much, CJ. First and foremost, we should know that as parents, ngabana bakula, we are role models to these children. And basically, they would want to practice what they see in us. And remember that we are the one who stays with them. We are the one who spends more time with them, with these children. So kambili very much tika ababana lama kopinga veti chita. I'm glad my colleague has mentioned that it's the upbringing. One, yes, true, the upbringing. Bana mweti bakulisira. If this male child has been seeing the father beating the mother every day to resolve a situation, they will grow up to look at this situation to be a normal way of resolving issues. If this girl child has grown up knowing the mother beating or insulting the father, she's going to take it that a partner, no tukana, no menya. It's what they've been brought up. That's the environment that they've been brought up. So for them, that's a normal way. And always remember that whatever we do, especially in the early lives of the children from 0 to 7, it stays in their mind because that is the foundation of every person when we are growing. Secondly, number 2, Nichani, the situations these children go through in life, every child go through. If especially the loss of their parents, the loss of their beloved ones, if these children were not given the opportunity to mourn when they were growing up, they grow up to be bitter. Hence, they would become bitter in adulthood and they will see nothing makes sense, but kainge mubiri kainge ukakula amafuna che partner, so beve we amavutikira mwali pafupi ni ndani ni partner wao ngandi bakazi bazakara arrogant, but maybe they've got unresolved issues that were not resolved when they were growing, so yaza vutikiramo ni uwiwe bapeza ku kundangu. So it's very cardinal and very important in one's life to sort out the issues baenda through, and more in our culture where we don't allow vana kushita moni when the parents died. Vana bafunyeni papa yabana kabiye kuli ba sister. Let's allow children to mourn, to go through that pain so that they come back to their normal well-being and they'll be able to handle the challenges. Ya number three ni the third one is where the children, they've been abused. If this child was abused when they were young, bear in your mind or have it in your mind that if it is not dealt with as they are growing up, when they grow up, they'll be abusers as well, because they were abused when they were young. So that is what they went through. So here we have to be careful. They will still turn up to be abused as children if they are not helped. And again, if themselves you abused them, they will grow up to be abusers. And these are people who depends on kula and they bully. Kuskulu and the because they always want to feel in control. They were bullied at home. They are being abused by their parents. They are being bullied by their aunties. They're ever looking after them. So when they go to school or everywhere, wherever they are, they are bullied. They want to be in charge, to be in control, because somewhere they are treated useless. So often I was very useless. So even in relationships, when they grow up, they become dominant. They become abusers. So you're going to find that amenya mkazi or amenya mwamuna wake some menya ku vintu ve vichitika hapa amumenya vinachitika kudala na vesenze dia vyamenyewerapo amutukana, and you're going to find that they are defensive. It's not that they are defensive to the current situation, no, because where they've come from. So they even when the partner wants to correct them, they see like this partner is confronting me. Son correcting is confronting me. So such people, they become abusers. So there are many things, and even being greedy. When they're just selfish. Selfish. They want everything to belong to them. They end up being bullied. They end up being, being
abusers.
Yes, they end up being abusers. And the Opo yes.
Kulina inangu reason ngakambe atinkani ya kumova these discussions that we have at the club, ladies meeting, mwingouza na vintu vinango, and then you go home, you want to experiment. Kanse ni ma discussion chabe amine
ndani ya mumova ya mukachaso.
Yeah, all right. So
also yes, the other thing, my discussions as well, amkachaso mukambisana muchita mwatumfiana mwanafundie normal way of living. So when you get home, you want to put it into practice. Wakutimba. You see, sometimes it's peer pressure. And also, let's not forget that our culture also, it becomes in terms of culture, but at a certain level, it becomes abuse. You are looking at nikaucha mkazi ndiafu nikache kupika ndiafu nikowasha ndiafu yonankala chepa newspaper. At the end of the day, it becomes abuse. Mwamuna ndiafu nikoenda che kunchite nenanka at the end we need to be careful. At the end of the day, to turn our culture as well has a certain percentage to play. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Himba. Viewers, like we say, this is a discussion. Please feel free to just drop a comment in the comment section. Tag someone, invite someone to this discussion. We need to hear some of those experiences, how you managed to get through, and let us have this conversation going so that we can have enough information and guidance on what the causes are for spouse abuse, as well as monitoring and dealing with my situations. So there's a number on the screen that you can use if you want to call in. You are allowed to be anonymous, provided you do not insult or do something that is abusive. So please, you're very much free to call us through the number that is on the screen. That is 0972 959 608. That's 0972 959 608. Please, you can send a WhatsApp message or just make a direct voice call. We'll be able to put you through to the studio, and we'll interact that way. And right about now, I would say the director has already shared the studio link. So please, you can click on the link that is in the comment section, and then you can join the studio and be part of the guests that we have discussing this issue. So apa Himba nzafuna tiyendeko pang'ono in terms of okay, let's start with which one, verbal, or which is it, verbal or mental abuse? Should we put them together or we separate them? What do you suggest? Okay, let's put them together. Verbal or psychological abuse. How can you identify that, okay, this is verbal or psychological abuse, and how can you deal with it? I'll start with you, Himba, and then I'll go to Womkelewai. Okay, Himba, go ahead.
Thank you so much, CJ. When you're talking about verbal abuse, it's something achatulanda amashiwi majui abelehegwa abayandu abasu o amashiwi o ichitemwiko cheso ebengala bonfya what abatemwiko abeso bengala bonfya palifwe. You know, verbal abuse, it's basically calling names or even belittle somebody when you're talking. I would give an example. I said, iwe actually kumwenu mwali chula ole ntasha na alikupa ngate ine ngata uli apo no bwali kumwenu mwali, you know, that kind of language. Kamutulumba no bamumulipengede ko muhila, you know, that kind of thing. And that is verbal abuse. It will torment you. And on the other hand, verbal abuse is anything that will come verbally that will affect you emotionally, or which is going to affect your feelings. Excuse me. So basically, the moment your partner starts using such words and you're not comfortable, it's a red flag. You need to deal with it at a tender age, before it goes balabazukulu. The moment your husband...
So that is whatever is verbally inappropriate.
Correct.
That is abuse, eh? So ngati mzako abasensa mawe yamine siyafunikira, that is verbal abuse. Au tumwe hongo ubereha majwi ngatere dogo bereha na matusi na kuguhundiriha na kuguhubaya, that is verbal abuse, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Womkelewai, your take on verbal abuse?
Well, thank you so much. Verbal abuse, where people are, like I said earlier, that you have to be careful on how you communicate to your partner and what you say. And you have to think of what they will do or how they will react upon receiving what you have just produced or said. It is important to respect your partner, not just because now you are used of having, you have known them, and you know, especially when they are economically, your significant other is economically less empowered, and you are the breadwinner. We always see this tendency of men, for example, or women themselves, when they are economically empowered and their partner is not. You find that they come up with all this kind of verbal abuse, kuyumfwa, you know, and imiponto, and you find that your partner feels a little bit
I also want you to zero in on how to handle such a situation when you notice that you have a partner that abuses you verbally. Okay, Yeah, so also zero in on that one. Please continue.
Yes, like we say that there are so many ways, there's so many signs that shows that you are in an abusive relationship, and how to deal with them. You know what you want as a person, as a partner. You know what you had signed for, and then when you see things are not coming the way, they're not happening the way you thought they were supposed to, I think that's already a red flag, and you need to act and find out from yourself what is it that you want to do, because most people tend to decide to ignore or fear to go or to act because they have already been mentally uh, brainwashed, that they have, because when you are with a psychopath in a home where that abuses you, they will take away your dignity. They will take away every little strength that you think you can go to. They will even tell you to say you can go wherever you want to go and take me. Nothing will happen. And when you hear that, because you have already been um, disarmed, you already been demoralized, you simply stay back without doing anything, and you continue under their wings. They will continue abusing you. That's bullying. They will bully you, and they will capitalize on your weakness, and then they will use certain miambo and as an excuse. Sometimes when they know that you are about to catch them, these psychopaths that are abusing you, they will play a card of victim, that they are the victims. It's either they have been bewitched or it's the devil. They will go into spiritual lies. They will go into other kind of excuses so that you stay. And also they will use the children. If you go, who is going to look after these kids? Blah blah blah. Just to make you, the abuse, feel guilty and blame yourself for every single move that you wish to take, even when it's the right thing to do. So all you need to do, to those that are in abusive relationships, is to seek help. Go and get help. But first thing first, educate yourself. Empower yourself. Because when you are well informed, I promise you, nobody will be able to take advantage of you. Nobody will will step on your rights, and you are just quiet because you are well vested with the knowledge. So educate yourself in terms of knowing your rights. Okay? Or go to school. If you are not educated, try to take advantage of either the free education that is now given in Zambia. Go learn something so that you know your right. Utilize these internet facilities that you are given. There's a Google, there's what. Use it for your own benefit. So
I
these
want
are
to
things
drive
that may
in.
help you, and
So,
also engage the lawyers, take legal advice. We have a lot of organizations that are there helping women that are affected, even men that are affected. A lot of money are being paid to these institutions to help,
so
just for helping victims.
Wamkelewa,
Yes, please. Yes,
please
please.
just summarize your thought so that I can quickly drag in Himba as we are going to bring in the other aspects of abuse.
So, like I said, that because you had asked me what are the solutions to this
Yeah, yeah,
abusive
to the video.
relationship. So
Yeah.
this, I was trying to give some solutions to say, if you are found in that position, sometimes you may find that you may feel guilty yourself that you are the causer you are scared to take an action because the abuser, the psychopath, because psychopath behavior, you can tell that you are living with a psychopath. If you can just Google what what are the attributes of psychopaths and what are the dangers of living with a psychopath, I promise you will find that it will be describing the very partner of yours who is abusive, and then you be able to know how to get away from such kind of abusive relationship. So for now, let me just hold there.
Okay, so Himba, I don't know if you're able to come in on that one. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, nianze kumwa manzi CJ.
Okay, so should I bring in another one? Sexual abuse.
I actually spoke about that, CJ, that sexual abuse is a situation where your partner would want to have the sexual intercourse even when the other partner is not ready or they are not willing. Okay, sometimes you have to persuade each other to do it, but sometimes you're going to find this gets out of hand. You literally turn your friend into a sexual object or a sex machine where you just feel, because other partners vamamwa viminkwala, vamamwa viminkwala, and it ends up becoming something on your partner, and other, like especially kainge ife vakazi, like in our culture we are told that vamuna ndiye vadimanda maningi, mwamuna akadimanda, so that is at any time anyhow peyafunira akamwa maconcoction ayanabwera at 48 hours amwa, then mukazi apieramo. So if it gets out of hand, that is sexual abuse. And sometimes, even if it is not, even if you are being touched or you are being, vakugwira mwesi ufunira, you are not in the mood, also that becomes sexual abuse. Even some sexual language, if you're not comfortable with it, even if it's your partner, it's your boyfriend, they use it. Okay, definitely, it's a mess. And mwamuna wako, ni mkazi wako, olo akamba vaso, because our tradition allows that, but it becomes abuse. And if a man will talk to you publicly in a sexual way, because some people or some men, some women, especially men, would even like want to like kumugwira mkazi pabanzake aoneshe uti they are in control of that relationship, or they are the boss in that relationship, because an abuser is always, he feels he's in control or he owns that person. My dear sister or brother, the moment you see such things, that's a red flag. You need to arrest the situation before it gets out of hand. And such people, sexual abusers, believe me, most of the times they end into physical abusers, which means you're actually preparing an atmosphere for that. Because the moment azambobweras forcing apali okakana azakutimba kaingi. So now you really have to control the situation before it gets out of hand for your own benefit. Thank you.
May I just come in as well on that one? Sorry to cut you.
Whilst you're on that same one, according to our traditional setup, is there room for sexual abuse? Okay, is there in a marriage? We've heard of cases where maybe a woman reports a man for, is it rape in a home? Is there anything that can be classified as a rape in a marriage? Okay, so
yes,
quickly on that.
There is. There are sometimes, Safuna, even in a marriage, I have to give consent for me to go into the sexual intercourse. If I say no, my husband has no right to force himself on me, because that's my body. I've got my right. Even if they say, okay, fine, when you get married, your body becomes your husband and his husband. But filachiramo sometimes. Let me give a practical example, like in the village. This is a woman, like where I come from. Uluchelo vachia mkumabala mkulima, balefuma ku mabala abalume babwera bayikala bamayo nga nibana mayo. She starts now preparing the food. After preparing the food bamukta pamenshi bena bagayi nabekala fe baletusha maybe limbapele bekele bale. He's even gaining now. He's even refueling where the friend is working. Balefuma ku mabala bamukta pamenshi balefuma mukta pamenshi basuka abana, all that kind of thing. And this woman now, she says, okay, I'm tired, can I rest? This man says, you can't be tired. How can you be tired for me? You are here because of this. He starts forcing. That becomes rape, and it becomes sexual abuse. Even when I'm married, I should give consent. When I'm but I paid for you. I don't think when you pay your bridal price, you are paying for sex. No.
That's another
Anyway,
traditional.
what can I just keep in on that one? Yes. In sexual abuse, you know that even deprivation of sexual intercourse with your partner can also constitute abuse. That you don't. Yes, that can also constitute. We can categorize this as an abuse, that you are depriving your partner, and that can also, under customary law, that can lead to even divorce, because your significant other is being starved sexually. They can also petition or complain that you are abusing them because you are not satisfying them. So it takes two to tango. However, yes, the issue of rape can come out in a marriage, to answer your questions. But it's not going to be an easy case to prove in court, because we know for a fact that when a couple is married, there's already like the consent is already there. When a husband comes from wherever he was, how you start touching one another or doing, it is your custom, it is how you do things. And then if the other person doesn't want and the other one wants, it's how you treat each other. But of course, forcing yourself onto where you even injure in a process your partner, that they feel terrible, that they don't want to lavish you, and then you throw yourself onto them. If they can prove that in court, then that could warrant to marriage rape, of course. It's quite a difficult case to prove for couples, but in developed countries, yes, many couples have even divorced because their partners have abused their partners. They've raped their partners in their marriage because of evidence and stuff. But and also what constitutes this abuse also can be suspicion of your partner, being suspicious of infidelity. When you are suspecting that your partner is cheating on you, just that suspicion, you become arrogant, you become hostile, because every time you are very suspicious that your partner is cheating on you, and you become violent, and that also can also constitute abuse. Alcohol, alcohol can also constitute abuse, can also be considered as the cause of abuse, because when somebody is intoxicated, certain people do lose it. Like we have heard Kuchipata, where a man went to drink and went and beat the pregnant wife to death while under the influence of alcohol, and he was arrested. So you can tell that these alcohol, the beer drinking, if we drink more than necessary, it can also affect our marriages, our relationships, and you may end up losing your partner because of the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Obom Kilawai. Now, looking at time is really running out, and what we're going to do is just try to, group all these abuses, whether physical, sexual, emotional, psychological, mental, economical, and I want us just to have a general or blanket arrangement in terms of looking at the possible solutions. So how best can you approach a situation of abuse where you notice your partner is abusing you in your marriage? What steps should one take? I'll start with Himba.
CJ, the first thing, the moment you notice, you see vindicative sense, you don't have to wait for tomorrow. You don't have to wait to see the next step. You have to, basically, I believe in sorting the matter, the two of them. The first, you see? You talk about it. You tell your partner, you know, you talk to him the first time, probably, or you talk to her the first time, or it's a complicated thing, and you have to be careful because it's also dangerous. Because this person can beat you when you're trying to challenge them. Remember, an abuser, they want to be in control of the situation. An abuser, they feel to be the boss. An abuser, they enjoy actually to infringe pain on others. For them, they find peace and they find joy. So you basically have to be careful. You try to deal it because you know your partner very well. But you try to resolve it amicably among the two of you. Vikakanga ona sivisebenza, engage people you trust. Kukamba na wewe, but kambili, me I would, because this is not a thing that will start once, twice. This, for somebody to be an abuser, nishwanamba kudala. So they may need professional help. They may need serious help, which you cannot even manage, because in their side you are the victim, and you try to talk to them, they will challenge you. They will still want to show you that they are in control. So probably they'll need counseling. All I would say, get to study the situation, find the best alternatives. But sometimes you may not also understand what is the best alternative. Involve people you trust. Work church can be they are genuinely and they are very helpful. But my church here now, bazakuuza ati alina mademon, bazakuuza ati ni satanist. The church, they'll tell you, let's kneel and pray. It's not every situation that needs prayers. No. Yes, you have to seek guidance from the above, but certain things, they need prayers and action. But not mupempera muntu abwera na vilonda batimba mwapempera bwerera kunyumba. Futa akafika kunyumba batimba again abwera mwapempera bazaleka. Eventually there's a loss of life. So these we really need to be very critical, to be very mature. You need to be a critical thinker. You need to look at which is the best alternative. But most of the time, you should be careful. When you see the red flag and you are ignoring it, you are actually creating the death trap for you. Depression kills, and depression comes with psychological abuse. Ubisa can't get my panonekela manje. Ubisa, you're going through abuse in your house. Ubisa, mwika na picture pa Facebook. Kuta abantu wana, bajawankala bwino. Gosh, it's a coated relationship. Inside, it's a rotten relationship. You see? So basically, you're not killing the society. You are killing yourself. But the time when you reach a dead end, nowhere to go, the society will not even notice. By the time you realize you're already gone. But let's learn to fight for ourselves and to use the right methods to save our marriages, our children, and those we love. And even as family, extended family, sometimes victims, they may not see that they're abused. As a family also, we can raise my red flag. The community can raise a red flag. Wenangu, baona muzimai bama mmenya every timamvera pa radio hapa o pa TV. Bamenyana. Ndiye mwebaliri bama nkala banashobera na bamenyana nchuwi nangu bamenya kansimbi afa. Ndiye pe nditenzo bauza nenzo muuza, it's already too late. So let's report the matter to victim support. Let's invite the professionals to help. If it can't work, run for your life. Before you lose your life, run for your life.
Thank you very much. Wom Kilebai, I need you to give the possible steps that you feel one should take when they notice that they're in an abusive marriage, and these will lead to our conclusion. So please be as elaborate but as summarized as possible due to time. Go ahead, Wom Kilebai.
Thank you so much. I am not going to go all the way because you have already told me. And if you have noticed, like today, I'm really taking a very low profile in my submission. To start with, one most important that you need to know to do is know your right as a victim. Know your right. Second, set boundaries. Set your boundaries. Don't fall into the same ditch. Once you have observed, you have identified that it is not attainable, please find your way out. The third one, I would say, talk to someone. Reach out. Reach out. Don't feel shy. Find someone that you trust, your family member or your friends. Reach out and talk to them. Do not be shy. Give them every information. And I promise you, it will be like something has been lifted off your shoulder. The other thing is, the fourth probably could be work on your self-confidence. Work on yourself. And get support from the professional people, such as the counselors, therapists, doctors, lawyers, those who have the expertise in the field that you are going through. It could be mental abuse, could be all this torture. So basically, this is what I can simply say for now, that let us create our self-awareness of the situation.
Well,
Yeah, you're saying?
Well, I thought, have you concluded?
Yes, I think my work is done.
Thank you very much. So viewers, we've come to the end of our program for tonight. We've been looking at causes causes of spouse abuse and how to deal with them. Please, these things are happening around, and our desire is that we should have strong homes, strong families, and we should be able to deal with these things that we're going through in the best way possible. And tonight we had Himba and Wom Kilebai. Like Himba had said earlier, Evangelist has a bereavement. That's why he's not able to be with us tonight. And we have dealt into these matters. And please, do share this broadcast with someone, tag someone so that they can learn one or two things, and together we'll be building each other. I'll say, let me just also add my take as we end. There's been a mention of when you notice something is wrong, don't continue deceiving yourself saying, if visasila, have it addressed, okay? Engage your partner, okay? Provided there is love and good communication, there's a possibility that you can work these things out. If you see that that fails, engage other people, just the way Himba and Bomkelewa has said. Mwaitanako wa ma-counselors, kapira nikubwela ngati nkuli bashibukombe, ngati wanabukombe, those people, you engage them and say, this is what I'm going on in my marriage. Titandizen. Okay. At that level, those people will be able to see mwenawaza kutandizirani. Okay. If you don't have those, approach people that have got good standing, people that you know are responsible and exemplary, they're able to give you good advice. It's not everyone that you share some of these issues to, because others might put you into depression when you share these things with them. But share with people that are responsible, people that you know will be able to give you a solution, not just talking things anyhow. Okay. And getting help is not a sign of weakness, it is actually a sign of strength, because from there you'll be able to get solutions and ensure that your marriage is put back on track. Mukona, you've tried that and even to change. There's nothing wrong with calling it quits, especially when it comes to physical violence, where mwamba kugwirana patupi makofi, that kind of a thing. Please, it's better you separate than there's a loss of life. So please, viewers, if you are in an abusive relationship, there is hope, and find help so that you can have that situation resolved and have or enjoy marriage. Marriage was meant to be enjoyed. Si funkonkarash bikisha kab, if wish to enjoy, yes, there can be a few ups and downs here, but abuse yeve tikana olonako polisi ungaende so that ngati mzako alimustate inango. Okay, that is a threat. It is dealt with. So for tonight, I want to thank Emmanuel, who's been our director, Bomkelewa, Himba, everyone who's been part of the broadcast, though we are unable to bring in the comments and the phone and the phone conversation hasn't gone on, but we just want to thank you and encourage you to continue being part of Ubuntu channel. Like and follow our social media platforms. On Facebook, Ubuntu Channel Zambia, YouTube, it's Ubuntu Channel, Twitter, Ubuntu Channel. So from me and the team that we had tonight, want to say thank you and see you next week for another exciting episode of PanSAKA, when we'll be looking at another great topic relating to our everyday life. I want to say good night and God bless.
Bye-bye.